right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call to order the special meeting of the Dearborn Heights City Council at 5:36 p.m. Madam Chair, please take roll call. I'm sorry, Madam Clerk.
Dave Abdallah,
Here.
Hassan Ahmad,
Here.
Mo Beydoun,
Present.
Nancy Breyer. Here. Robert Constant is not here at the moment.
was
Ray
close.
Muscat,
Here.
and Tom Wenzel is absent. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Appreciate it. Next up is our Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to ask Councilman Ray Muscat to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
No flag.
We'll pretend.
Anyway. We'll pretend there's a
Oh,
flag.
no.
Yeah, okay, we'll point to the mayor.
Let's point to the mayor.
All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for jumping in, Mr. Mayor.
I'm honored.
Okay, next on our agenda is agenda approval.
Council Chair,
Councilman Hassan.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council approve the agenda for the special meeting of February 15, 2022 as submitted.
Support.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad and supported by Councilman Beydoun. Any discussion on that? All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried.
Constant voted also.
Yeah, he
sorry?
voted coming in.
He voted.
Okay.
Bob Constant said
Councilman
yes.
Bob Constant voted from the stands coming in. All right. You got that, Madam Clerk? Okay, great.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is public hearings and comments on agenda items only. You will have 2 minutes. Anybody in the audience that would like to speak on agenda items only?
We don't have agenda.
I do,
Hearing none?
I have one on Zoom.
Right, I'm going to go to Zoom next. Okay, seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please let in whoever's on Zoom?
Yep. It's Mr. Dombrowski. There he goes.
Okay, Vince, go ahead.
Good evening, members of the council, Mr. Chair, Mr. Mayor. Vince Drapkowski, Columbia Street, Dearborn Heights. I know this is regarding Warren Valley and it's the discussion among council members that have to go through a private session. I'm just hoping that it's in a positive direction for Warren Valley and nothing that some of the residents will regret that live along the river. So I just want to make that stated because this is a sudden meeting. And probably obviously a lot of residents don't know about it. But I just want to be that individual voice concerning those residents that may flood. There was a lot of talk about that a couple of years ago. So just keep that in mind. I'm trusting this body to make the right decision, and I'll leave it at that. Thank you for this opportunity, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Vince, and thank you for always staying active. I appreciate it. And next
you.
up, anybody else, Madam Clerk, on Zoom?
Let me double check. I apologize, I was,
It's okay. I don't see nobody on my end.
no, okay, thank you.
You see anybody or no? Okay. All right, excellent. Seeing nobody else on Zoom that has any questions or comments? Next item on the agenda is from members of the public. At this point, we're going to go to comments from council members. Any comments from council members?
Does it have to do regarding this or?
Technically, it's a meeting, so no, it does not.
I do have something, Council Chair.
Go ahead, Councilman.
I'd like to make it aware that I'm fully in favor of having, or hopefully that the council agrees with me, having a new ordinance written about the Planning and Zoning Commission being only a recommendation body to City Council. That got away from us somehow, and I'd like to have that returned back to City Council if possible. And I'm asking you all to be supportive of that, and hopefully we can bring something to the table in a motion at another date, if I can see if everybody is, going to be willing.
Sure. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Councilman. And we did have a study session on that, and the wheels are in motion to, at the very minimal, at least say that, taking it in the right direction.
Thank you, sir.
So thank you, Council Chair Pro Tem. Any other announcements from council members?
Council Chair,
Councilman Bidun, go ahead.
just a couple of things. I know we're supposed to see real nice weather in the 50s this week, but we're also expected to see some snow. I am just asking that the administration, who's did a great job the last 2 times, that we stay on top of our Department of Public Works and our director, just make sure that they're out when they're plowing, they're also salting. That I know a lot of the residents have been getting some of those complaints. I'm sure many of you guys have as well.
Right.
Where, people are just really blowing up my phone regarding the streets not being salted. So I asked the administration to work alongside DPW, and I know you guys did a great job the last time, but it came back and snowed again. So I'm just asking that, Thursday's snowfall, we're expected 8 inches, that we can plow and salt. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. I'd like to add on that, Councilman, is I know it's on the radar of the administration, and I know they're working out a lot of the logistics to continually improve that system. So I think you're right, but I do know with the mayor and DPW, it's on their radar to make sure that we continue to have progress with that. Thank you. Someone else, anybody else on the council?
One more thing, if you don't mind, Councilman.
Go ahead, Councilman.
This is going to be directed at the mayor, if it's okay with you,
Sure.
sir. Mr. Mayor, my understanding is we're a little shorthanded in the DPW, correct? Yes. Are we have any plans to hire, and have we posted for positions? Because I've been asked about that. Nobody seems to know if positions have been posted.
Council Chair?
Yeah, go ahead, Mayor.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of positions on, they can go on this HR website. There's a lot of positions are opening, or there's a lot of openings.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor. So as the mayor mentioned, there's a lot of openings available at DPW. Can you pass that down, please?
Throughout the
sir.
city. It's just,
Throughout the city, right, on the
fire,
website.
Police, yes. It's all
And I do know in one of the videos you mentioned that. So if anybody's looking for new opportunities, new careers, we have lots of openings at the city, and they're all on the website, or you could contact our HR director.
I had an email from a gentleman that said that he looked and he couldn't find anything posted, so I just
You
want
can
to be
share,
aware.
if you can share his number or her
Okay,
number.
and I will.
we'll call her.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Robert
Thank you,
Constant?
Council Chair, and just to echo what Councilman Baydoun mentioned, on snow days and on trash collection days, please, if people could park down on the corner but not park in the street. Sometimes I'll have somebody in the neighborhood park in front of my house, and I don't know whose car it is, can't move it, and if people could be courteous and not park in the street and find another place to park just on those trash days and snow days. Thank you.
Thank you. And on that note, I know there was some conversations with the police department. I know quite a bit of tickets were issued for people that were parked during snow days in the streets. And, the same way we get complaints from people saying, my snow is not shoveled in front of my house. So then we try to get cars out, and we've been given warnings for years, at least since I've been on the council. But then when they give tickets, then people complain about the tickets. So it's almost a no-win situation. But keep in mind, the administration is doing everything they can to make sure that the streets are fully plowed. And for all residents, please, during snow days, when there's an emergency, snow emergency, please make sure your cars are out, because the police department is enforcing that very diligently. Thank you, appreciate it, Councilman Constant. Is there any other comments from council members? Just a quick comment from me, and I'm going to try to continue to remind all of the residents. During tax paying time, there was quite a bit of long lines at City Hall for people trying to pay their taxes in the last hour. I highly recommend that you look into a program that was brought on by the administration and the Treasurer's Office, DivDat. It's online, it's on the website. There's apps for it where you could pay. It's much quicker. You could do it at your home without having to come into City Hall. it'll be much, much easier for you. If you'd like any more information on that, please contact the city treasurer's office, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to walk you through it. With no additional comments from council members, any,
Councilman, I'm so sorry.
okay, Councilman Bedun, go ahead.
Short, simple. This Saturday is regionals for Crestwood Chargers wrestling team. My nephew Hamid is in it. There's a young man named Anis who's ranked in the state, and a young man named Mo Hakim. They'll be wrestling at Saline this Saturday around 8:30 a.m. If anybody'd like to show up, it's real fun. They just won districts, so these are all seniors. It'll be their last time wrestling, and then moving on to regional. So
Good.
go Chargers.
Go Chargers and go Dearborn Heights. Any announcements from any department heads or anybody in administration?
I don't know.
Anybody? Yes,
I
Councilwoman
need a
Nancy
little
Breyer.
help probably from Bob, but also I think on the 19th, they're having the nominations for women in leadership.
Okay,
And that's put on by our cultural group.
okay,
Cultural and
Commission.
Community Relations, yeah, the
Speaking.
Women's Leadership Award.
okay, excellent.
So please nominate any woman you know who does a lot with and for the city. Thank
Right,
you.
and if you need the phone number for that particular commission, you're welcome to call the clerk's office. I'm sure they'll provide you with that. Any other announcements from anybody?
I have one thing, Council Chair.
Absolutely.
Um,
Anybody else on Zoom have any announcements from the city? None?
Not so
Okay,
far.
Madam Clerk, go ahead,
Not so
please.
far. Well, it's the Parks and Recreation Fire and Ice on Saturday as well. That'll start at 12 o'clock over at Warren Valley.
Oh, okay.
They have a full lineup from 12 to 7, 12 noon till 7 p.m. I think it's supposed to be nice out, too.
I know they have it on the website, and I believe there's a,
Yes, it is. I'm
there's
pulling it. I
there's
just
a
pulled it up.
concert as a part of that too,
Yeah,
isn't
there's a
there?
Garth Brooks tribute,
That's a
tribute to
fire show.
Garth Brooks, would you?
A fire show, I think?
There's a fire show, there's fire eaters and breathers, ice sculptures, live carving, ice sculptures on display. And then there's fire pits with s'mores, stilt walkers, carriage rides, kids games, live music, tribute to Garth Brooks, and NJ Nova production. I don't know if that's the same or not. Tyler Hitchcock, Kelly Miller, and Stan Deluxe. And then a night glow from a hot air balloon, train rides, and story walk the snowy day, ongoing during the event.
Great.
Okay?
Thank you, Madam Clerk, and I thank our Recreation Department for continuing to put on lots of activities for our residents, and of course, our administration for helping coordinate that. Thank you. At this point, we're going to go ahead and move to public comments from any members of the audience. Seeing none. Next up, any public comments from anybody on Zoom? Madam Clerk, can you let anybody?
At the
And you will
moment, there are
have,
no hands.
3 minutes.
Okay, at the moment, there are no hands raised.
Okay, going once,
Oh, wait a
going,
minute, we do have one now.
okay, go ahead.
Let me, there you go, you're ready.
Vince Drepkowski again, Mr. Chair. Mr. Muscat, or Councilman Muscat, reminded me of a question I had or a request regarding the Planning Commission. I attended that meeting also, and the lady that is chairing the commission, I feel needs to be replaced, because every meeting that I've been to with her as a chair, there is no control. You can ask any other person that was there, there's lack of control of her meeting, and always leaning towards counsel for advice. I understand that needs to be done, but the lack of control at those meetings is, I feel, a little ridiculous. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Vince, appreciate it. Anybody else from members on Zoom that would like to comment under public comments? You'll have 3 minutes.
No hands are raised.
All right, seeing none. Next item on the agenda is a closed session. This is a closed session with Mayor Bazey, Chief of Staff Hernandez, and Corporation Counsel Miyake in regards to the Warren Valley Golf Course discussion.
Council Chair,
Council Pro Tem, go ahead.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council move to a closed session at 5:59 to consider Corporation Counsel Miyatki's written opinion regarding Warren Valley Golf Course, which is material exempt from the disclosure under the Open Meetings Act. This is presented by Mayor Bazey, Chief of Staff Hernandez, and Corporation Counsel Miyatki.
Support.
Motion made by Council Chair Pro Tem Muscat, supported by Councilman Baydoun. Before we go to roll call, I'd like to just make a quick announcement. For those in the audience, whether on Zoom or in person, we're going to be going into a closed session. I just want to let you know, after the closed session, we're going to just go back on Zoom and in person for those that are here, just to adjourn at that particular point. So you're welcome to stay if you'd like to, no problem with me, but I just want to let you know, when we do come back, the only thing we will be doing is adjourning at that particular point, just in case, so you don't have to stick around if you don't want to.
Council Chair, it actually should be material exempt under the Freedom of Information Act,
Oh, Freedom Act.
So-
which gives the basis for an Open Meetings Act closed session.
So I just want to make sure, Corporation Counsel, you're referencing what Councilman Muscat mentioned?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just reading it off.
No, I know, we're reading it off of what was given by the clerk's
Right.
office.
Right. The clerk and I spoke very briefly because I was at court all day today, and maybe.
I must have missed the Freedom of Information Act. I got the
Right.
Open Meetings
That's-
Act.
She
part.
thought it was, but, so it's basically, the exemption is under the Open Meetings Act, the ability to consider material exempt under the Freedom of Information Act, and a written legal opinion is material that's exempt under the Freedom of Information Act, thus allowing you to go under the Open Meetings Act to have a closed session. So the only thing that would need to change in the motion is from Open Meetings Act to Freedom of Information Act.
Okay, so if you don't mind,
Which is
Council
the-
Chair Pro Tem, can you just
Okay.
read it over so that there's no
I move
confusion?
that Dearborn Heights City Council move to a closed session at 5:59 PM to consider Corporation Counsel Miyatki's written opinion regarding Warren Valley Golf Course, which is under the Freedom of Information Act,
No, which is material exempt
which is material exempt from
disclosure.
disclosure
Under,
under the Freedom of Information Act.
yes, thank you.
This is presented by Mayor Bazey, Chief of Staff Hernandez, and Corporation Counsel Miyatki.
Okay.
And then whatever he says.
We're good.
Okay. And
Okay?
we have a second.
Anybody second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman Nancy Breyer. So, so motion made by Council Chair Pro Tem Muscat, seconded by Councilwoman Nancy Breyer.
Correct.
All in favor, we're going to go ahead and take roll call, I'm sorry.
Correct.
Any discussion on this? Okay, so let's go ahead and, Madam Clerk, can you please take roll call?
Dave Abdallah,
Yes.
Hassan Ahmad,
Yes.
Mo Baydoun,
Yes.
Nancy Breyer,
Yes?
Robert Constant,
Yes.
Ray Muscat.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, motion carried.
I do got a question. So we made the,
Yes, go ahead, Councilman.
what is it?
Go ahead, Councilman.
We made the, you said Freedom of Information Act. Let's hypothetically say that Corporation Counsel didn't catch that. How does that hinder the council or the administration? I'm just curious.
If someone really raised the issue, it'd be rather.
Not talking to the microphone.
I'm sorry. If someone raised the issue, it'd be rather picky. I don't know that a court would look at it, but it is
Just a,
incorrect, so that's why I pointed it
I
out.
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I do appreciate our Corporation Counsel and our Clerk's Office continually looking into things to make sure that we're following the right protocol. So much appreciated. Okay, so at this particular point, we're going to go ahead and go into a closed session. And for those in the audience, we'll be coming back to adjourn only. Thank you.
Council Chair,
Councilman Ahmad.
I move that the Dearborn Heights City Council return to open session at 7:27 PM.
I second.
Motion made by Councilman Ahmad, seconded by Councilwoman Nancy Breyer. Any discussion? All right, Madam Clerk, do you want us to take roll call or just go ahead and, okay, so let's take it to a vote. All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Next item,
Move to adjourn.
okay?
Support.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Baydoun, and supported by Councilman Constant.
At 7:27.
All in favor, please state aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.